question for men. Do you ever think...
What kind of question is this?
I didn't ask.
Mothers and daughters, we don't talk about this.
Ma, ¿cuánta gente tú has dormido con?
Ay, yo qué sé, me iba a acordar de eso y era puta en Cuba, ¿cómo acordar yo de eso?
Okay.
There's 3 things I continue seeing over and over again on men's online dating profiles that make me want to stay single forever. Guys, pay attention. Number 1, exercise. Guys like to say how many days they work out each week, and I expect my lady to do the same and take good care of herself. Yeah, fuck you. Number 2, no drama. Oh, really? Because life is a drama. It has ups and downs, so that just means you're not going to be there for the serious things. Yeah, fuck you too. Number 3, I'm looking for someone who doesn't take themselves too seriously. Again, life has ups and downs. If you're going to tell me that I shouldn't take things seriously, it's kind of almost like gaslighting, isn't it? No thanks.
Guys, videos like this are so absolutely hilarious, right? You got all these women out here making videos talking about what men need to do for them. I need a man to do this, I need a man to do that. And I mean, that woman in that video literally wants men to give up their hobbies. Okay, she doesn't want a guy who's into fitness. She doesn't want, her boyfriend to have any sort of standards and stuff like that. And here's the thing about a lot of these modern women, guys, is they'll get to a point where they will become so bitter because they haven't been able to secure marriage or a long-term relationship. A lot of these girls, man, their standards are set so high through the roof, and the thing is, they won't quote-unquote settle for less. So anyone who's going out here treating them anything less than a princess, they get offended. They get mad. And the thing about this is, guys, is a lot of them end up 30, 40, 50 alone with cats, right? Because truth be told, a lot of them can't keep around a man. It is truly some absolutely hilarious stuff. But what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again with another response video. And on today's show, guys, boy, do I have some clownery to show you. But before we jump into it, guys, if you're new here, you're liking the videos, make sure that you subscribe on your way in. And as always, if you are interested in supporting the channel, make sure you check out the locals link in the description, guys. The first month over there, is totally free on me with code Fiendish, guys. So if you're interested in supporting the channel, make sure you check that out. But, we're just going to jump right into today's content. And, guys, I apologize in advance for this one, okay? Brace yourselves. We have here a 28-year-old woman, and this is her dating profile. So I'm going to read the bio to you in case you're not watching the screen. It goes... I am 8 months pregnant with my rainbow baby. I am not down to have bedroom fun. No, I will not hook up with you. No, I don't want to meet up with you or chill with a complete stranger. I'm looking for something serious and long-term only. My standards are extremely high. If you're not interested in actually getting to know me and meeting me or trying to have a relationship with me, do not bother wasting my time. I always find it so interesting, guys, how these women will talk about, oh, I need a man to not waste my time, and I need a guy who's serious, right? And and here's the really ridiculous thing, right? Even these women, if they do get into a relationship with a guy, and, dudes in long-term marriages and relationships and stuff like that, let me know in the comments if you think I'm on the ball here. A lot of these girls will try and get their significant others to give up hobbies and stuff like that. Right, whether that be fitness, whether that just be other general things that men are interested in, whether for you it's cars or fixing things or music or painting or photography or something like that. Girls, what they'll often do, guys, is when they're in long-term relationships, they'll feel threatened by things that withdraw attention away from them. I've said this before on the channel, guys, but women's self-esteem is not what you would think it would be. Like, if you're a guy and you don't know about this stuff, maybe you haven't watched videos on this side of the internet before, girls will try and sell you this idea where their self-esteem is incredibly high. A lot of these people don't like themselves, guys, and as a consequence of that, it's on men to continue giving them attention. Right, I've literally seen some stories on here where I go through Reddit stories with you guys, which we'll be getting into later, where women will literally complain about the fact that their man's a lawyer, right? But he spends too much time away from her. It's like, ladies, you can't have both, right? They want a dude who's highly successful. They want a dude who does all of these things for her, but she still needs the attention. She still needs the validation. And if you don't give it to her, you're less of a man. I mean, gentlemen, this stuff is all over the internet. But let's continue onwards and see what else we have here. So this was the 28-year-old woman who was 8 months pregnant, and she wants, you, a man, to just come along and dig her out of the hole that she's put herself in. Let's continue on to the next picture. This one here is a 29-year-old woman. She is a single full-time mother of twins and a baby boy on the way due in December. So that is for a total of 3 children, guys. She single full-time of twins, and she has a baby boy on the way due in December. Both dads left, so not only, right, does she have 3 children, 2 at the moment, 1 on the way, but they're to 2 separate fathers. Okay, so just keep that in mind as we continue onwards. Both dads left, so I'm on my own, but I still fight, not looking for bedroom fun, just seeing what is out there, hoping to make friends first. Guys, if you didn't know, right, women will do this thing where they'll strongly encourage you to be their friend first, and oh, we need to get to know each other, we need to see if we're compatible and all that kind of crap. And basically what that means, guys, is that kind of stuff where women say, I want to be friends first, or I want you to do these things first. Basically what they're doing is they're making you jump through hoops. Dudes that they're actually attracted to, they don't have to do anything. They really don't. The guys that these women are actually attracted to, it's a matter of, okay, come over for 20 minutes on a Monday morning, early hours, and that'll be that. There's no, he has to take her to dates, he has to do this and that for her. Women will try and get the average man to come along and solve all of their problems for them, right? They'll have a dude, I've mentioned this many times on the channel, guys, but they'll literally have men who do this, men who do that for them, and kind of queue up men, and then have the audacity to say that dating sucks for them. I want you guys to think back to the woman that we showed at the start of the video, right? Where she was talking about, oh, men need to do this or else I'm going to stay single forever. I find that so incredibly laughable, guys. The fact that these girls literally think that they're, something to be bragged about in the dating market. Like, these women who like, if girls don't want to get married, they don't want to have kids, cool, that's on them. They can do whatever the hell they want. But these girls who get to 30, 40, and 50 and then complain about the fact that they missed their chance, I have no sympathy for. Right? Because they had all the opportunity to do it in the world. All the opportunity, guys. Even that woman at the beginning of the video complaining about the fact that, oh, I'm going to be single forever if men don't change. She'd have her opportunities, guys. And a lot of them, they get bitter because here's the thing. They can't keep around a dude. You talk to these women, man. I've talked to a lot of guys over on Patreon. You guys send me questions and stuff over there. And I've talked to a lot of guys who, in their relationships or their past relationships, will talk about how women literally cannot apologize in those relationships. Like, girls will talk about, oh, compromise, 50-50. And all the relationships I see, man, are basically the dudes having to go out here and do everything, and the woman's just incredibly ungrateful. And this kind of crap is only getting worse in 2021, especially with online dating, okay? Because girls they have all of these options, so they think that they're actually entitled to the commitment from all of these options, right? Oh, I got this quality of a guy's attention for this amount of time, so what that means is that every guy should just bow at my feet and do whatever the hell I want. Whenever women on this show, gentlemen, whenever we bring up dating profiles or stories and stuff like that, and women talk about, I deserve this, or I want a guy who does that, I just know, like, they never consider what they actually bring to the relationship. It really is quite ridiculous. But guys, we're going to be jumping into some Reddit stories here. So this is stuff that you guys have submitted into the show. If you would like to submit your own, make sure you send them to mrfiend11@gmail.com. Please don't send them anywhere else, guys. I get a lot of messages on different platforms. So make sure if you're sending stuff for the show that you send them to mrfiend11@gmail.com. But let's jump right into this first story. And this is a bit of a shorter one. It goes, found out my wife, who we got married in August, was cheating on me and uploading explicit content of herself online. I just honestly don't know how to deal with it. She apparently cheated on me all of last year and she tried to blame me for it due to me working and having to pay the bills. I just don't know what to do anymore with this crap. I'm honestly lost mentally at the moment. And this is something that you'll see a lot of guys go through, right? Well, not all women will do this. Not all women will just cheat on you like this, guys. But in a lot of situations where dudes do get cheated on, you'll find that girls want to turn it around and they want to blame it on the guy. And they'll actually use the effort that you put into the relationship as a means for their cheating. Let me give you guys an example. Girls will cheat under the guise of, oh, you didn't give me enough attention, right? And you're out there working a ridiculous amount of hours a week to provide for her because she wants the nice things or she wants this and she wants that. So you go out there, you provide these things, you're paying the bills, you're paying the mortgage, whatever the case may be, okay? And what'll end up happening is when she cheats, she'll go, "Oh, you weren't spending enough time on me. I didn't feel as though you were there for me." Right? And this is something that a lot of men fall into, the trap of actually believing this crap, guys. They will justify it in whatever way necessary. And it's really sad because a lot of times when this stuff happens to dudes, they think that they're the problem. Right? One really consistent theme that you'll see across all this kind of stuff, guys, is that women will try and convince you that you're the problem no matter what. Yeah, we got dudes out here doing incorrect things. We got dudes out here doing all sorts of shady stuff. But for the most part, like, guys are in general good people. You know what I mean? The idea that every dude is malicious is just absolutely crazy to me. And a lot of these situations, guys, you have no business apologizing in, right? But let's continue on to today's next story, if it'll load up on my screen. This is a bit of a longer one, so let's have a look at this. This was a recent one as well, and it is titled, "My 43-year-old male wife, who is 42 of 23 years, disclosed when we first got married she was still in love with her ex." This is a throwaway and my first ever post. My 43-year-old male wife, who is 42 of 23 years, disclosed when we first got married she was still in love with her ex and would have left me for him had he shown back up in her life and wanted to get back together. We'll come back to this, right? And guys, make sure to leave your thoughts and your comments as we go through these as well, what you guys think of these situations as well. So let's jump right in. Some backstory. When we were dating, she cheated on me, not with the ex in question. We worked through it, but I was never able to quite get past it as her story changed frequently. Today she saw I was down and we actually had an open, no BS conversation. She told me when we were dating she was still messed up due to her ex and what he did to her, excuse me. He got her pregnant, then left her for another woman. He then strung her along by telling her he would end things with the other girl, but never did. He used her whenever he wanted bedroom fun, and she was so in love, she went along trying to win him back. Long story short, that didn't happen. She tries to move on and dates around. Fast forward a couple years, and I come into the picture. I fell for her right away. She was absolutely beautiful, smart, hardworking, a wonderful mother, and she was kind. After dating a while, we got engaged. She actually proposed. Things were great. Until I discovered she cheated on me with a coworker. I later found out she wanted to leave me for him, but he only wanted a one-nighter. It was the hardest time of my life, and I was absolutely destroyed. However, we eventually worked through it and we married. Our marriage has been great. I adopted her daughter and she is my world, now married with kids, and also have 2 boys. We have a nice home, cars, toys, and just a good life together. We have mutual interests in just about everything and have built a really happy relationship. Gentlemen, we got to pause and have a bit of a talk about this, so make sure to leave your thoughts and your comments as we kind of have a discussion here. One thing that you'll notice, gentlemen, is girls will go through a period of their life, usually in their early 20s, right, where they'll go around, they'll have all their fun, and they'll see all these dudes. We know this, okay? Here's the really dangerous part, okay? What women will do is they will come out of this time period and they'll want to lock down a guy because they need that provisioning. She'll start to realize, okay, I need to get a serious relationship. I need to get my ring now. I need to have my kids now, whatever the case may be. And what girls will do is they will put on an act. Okay, this is something that I don't talk about too much on the channel, guys, but I've mentioned it here and there, but women can put up an act for a long time. Okay, they can act all sweet and innocent and like they're the best people in the world. And what it is it's actually a bait to try and get good men to commit to them. You see, those dudes who are working hard in their 20s on their craft, doing what it is they enjoy, building up their business, actually focusing, having some discipline, working on their body, stuff like that. Dudes with good morals, who have a good friendship circle and stuff like that, those guys will actually become the victims in this situation. Because what will happen is this woman will come along, she'll act all sweet and feminine, and she'll push for the commitment. She'll actually be the one pushing for commitment. And a lot of guys aren't used to this, right? We're used to, as guys, if you go on a dating app, your chances are you're going to have a really rough time and it's going to be bad for your self-esteem. They're really skewed against men, okay? So a woman will come along, she'll act sweet and feminine, she'll do all of these things, and she will actually be the one pushing for commitment. And this is why you'll see girls who, at 35, all of a sudden, within a handful of months, she's engaged to a dude who's better off than her and stuff like that. Because women, they know what they're doing, guys. They're preying on dudes who actually put the work in and who actually care about themselves. Good dudes who go through all of this struggle to actually make something of themselves, right? And this is the really disgusting thing, okay? Because, and I've mentioned this quite a lot, is that those dudes, she's not actually necessarily attracted to them, right? He's a meal ticket. He's an insurance policy. I want you guys to notice. I'm actually going to pull that back up so you guys can see what I mean here, okay? In case you missed that part. But I just really wanted to make this part absolutely clear if I can click on the right screen. Okay, down here. We have a nice home, cars, toys, and just a good life together. Okay, I want you guys to notice how whenever this stuff seems to happen, the guy is always the stable one, right? Because that's what she's looking for. She's looking for stability, right? Women have a mating strategy, gentlemen, where what they do is they'll go out and they'll have bedroom fun with a super attractive guy, and then they'll expect the average guy to come along and pick up the pieces for her. So she'll go out, she'll see that 6-foot dude making 6 figures, and then she'll expect the average guy to come along and pick up her pieces for her. But let's continue on with this story, if I can click the right button. There we are. So, continuing onwards. The biggest issue we have had is that I have known she is not completely truthful about her cheating. The whys, the day in question, and the fact that she had proposed to me only 3 weeks after cheating. You see what I mean, guys? How what they do is they'll bump up their timeline. Right? And the faster this stuff happens to men as well, the lower chance it is that men realize that they're actually being manipulated. You see, it's like a rush. There's a word for it. Maybe you guys have heard of it. It's called love bombing, right? Where it's a manipulation strategy where women will come into your life and they'll say, I love you, and they'll push for commitment. And you as a guy, you might not necessarily be used to this, especially if you've been spending all your time on your career or doing, focusing on yourself and stuff like this. And women will come along and they'll really try and bump up the timeline. Make no mistake, it's not for you, right? It's for them. It's literally an entirely selfish act that they come along and do this. So just be very careful when people come into your life, guys, and they push really hard for commitment off the bat, okay? Because it's actually a red flag. Let's continue onwards. That one has really thrown me in a loop, and all I have ever wanted was the truth. Well, the term "be careful what you wish for" comes to mind. Yep, there you go. When she saw I was down in my spirits, as this was the day she cheated on me for so long ago, it was always a trigger. After some back and forth, she finally gave me the truth. She said that she cheated because after her ex did what he did, she wanted to do the same. She wanted to do the same as some crazy way to move on. So she wanted to copy his behavior to quote unquote move on. Interesting. In her words, she was a horrible person and was playing games as her own way of getting past the ex. After a few hours of conversation, she told me that she proposed to me and married me initially because she felt safe with me and because I was the only guy who would actually take an active role with her daughter. Yeah, you see, all those other dudes that she's dating, guys, they don't want to commit to her. Right? It's a matter of, okay, well, we'll have the bedroom fun, and then the dudes are going to be on their way. Right? But you see, the dude who will actually commit to her, he's the one that becomes the victim in the situation. And I want you guys to notice how what she does is she uses her previous relationship with the ex-boyfriend to justify her crappy actions that she does against men. Okay, so just be very kind of wary of that. Let's continue onwards. She stated at the time and for the next several months after our marriage, if her ex would have shown up and tried to reconcile, she would have left me for him. She told me that when she got pregnant with our son is when she let go of the hope of being with him and focused on me ever since, and after a few more months she fell madly in love with me. She was apologetic and said she was apologetic and said she never told me because she didn't want to lose me back then. I was in so much pain it would have sent me over the edge. She is probably right on that one. I am now at a loss. I asked for it. I asked for the absolute G-word details, and now I feel like utter garbage. She is my world, and I do believe I am hers. But now I am realizing that I wasn't just plan B in the early days, but in fact plan C, and I am having a hard time processing this. For one, it was a long time ago. We love each other now, and I cannot see myself without ever waking up without her. She has always been the kindest and so attentive to my needs. We don't even have close friends as we prefer to do everything together without the drama of friend groups. Should I let this go or am I just overthinking it? We were young and dumb back then. I am looking for mature advice. Some things to pull apart, gentlemen, in here is the fact that if you're a dude and you're in a relationship with no friends, that is a huge problem. That is a huge problem. I would extend that to whether or not you're in a relationship at all. If you're a dude who's choosing to date, not choosing to date, whatever the case may be, having friends is incredibly important. And being separated from those friends, this sounds more like it was her idea down here. Okay, so just be very careful when girls try and separate you from your friends, and they'll make you try and think that it was your own idea, okay? And this is what I'm talking about as well with baiting dudes in, okay? She has always been the kindest and so attentive to my needs. Right, it's a trap so that girls can get you in there, and then they can actually just use you and continue to abuse your kindness to them. Basically, guys, it's a really disgusting process, and I don't think it's something that's talked about quite enough. I had a Patreon call the other day, guys, where a supporter was asking me. They said, Taylor, why don't you talk about the behaviors that men do? Right? You talk a lot about the behaviors that women do. Why don't you talk about what men do? And my response to that, guys, was there are plenty of enough spaces in the world where men get crapped on every day. Okay? Mainstream media will spend its entire time crapping on men. I mean, you look at the villain in pretty much every story, guys, and what is it? It's a dude. Okay, you look at the people in the stories, they're incompetent, they're bumbling buffoons, right? You look at Homer Simpson, you look at Family Guy, where the dudes are just made out to be utter clowns or they're made out to be evil. I mean, you go anywhere in society, gentlemen, and people will want to be telling you that men are crap and men are this and men are that. I don't think that there are a lot of spaces out there. There are more starting to crop up where men can actually talk about their issues and say, oh, I start to see what's happening. And people are starting to realize that there is actually a lot of patterns going on here where the same behaviors will recur over and over again, right? Where girls will do the same types of things over and over again. And dudes are starting to wake up, and that's a really good thing to see. There are a lot more channels like mine, guys, where men talk about their issues, a lot of fantastic ones where dudes talk about these sorts of things. So I would encourage you as we continue through the episode, because we still got a couple more stories to get through, guys, make sure to leave your comments and your thoughts as we continue onwards. But let's see what else we've got here. I actually want to read some of these comments and see what some of these people have to say. So let's jump into these. This man says, or person says, but why though? Why would you say that to a person you're supposed to love? Also, the excuses for her cheating are laughable. And she proposed 3 weeks later and you said yes. I have no advice for you, only a warning. The foundation for your relationship and entire life, it seems, is built on pillars of sand and they will crumble. It's an inevitability. That's true. That is incredibly true right there. A good comment. Harsh poem, bud. Noted. I said yes before I knew that she cheated. We worked a long time on it before we were married. Just an FYI. Not that it matters, I guess. Let's see what some other people have to say. You got a chance before marriage, but you rejected it. Now, there is no need to complain after that. You choose this marriage knowing that she is a cheater. Now, whatever you do, you won't forget, so live with this. There is nothing more to do here. There is nothing more to gain or complain about since she is faithful. Now, what's the problem? What the hell is this line right here, guys? I'm a little bit tired. I'm going to be going to bed after this, but this doesn't make much sense to me, right? She is faithful now, so what's the problem? I've said this many times on the channel, guys, but if someone is unfaithful to you, just cut the entire relationship off. Okay, I don't care if you guys have been together for 10 years. I don't care if you guys have been together for 2 weeks. People who are unfaithful, gentlemen, it's going to happen repeatedly if you allow it to happen once. You see what I'm saying? People who cheat, they will continue to cheat, and yet there is no amount of repairing, there is no amount of couples therapy, marriage therapy that is going to repair cheating, guys. People will literally be out here making businesses off of men's desire to hold relationships together that have no business being held together. Like, literally, there are people out here profiting off of the idea that men want to hold their relationship together even after women cheated on them. I think that's incredibly disgusting. But guys, we are going to be jumping into today's next Reddit story here. And again, thank you, gentlemen, for submitting these in as well. So let's have a look at this. Let me have a flick through some of these. Alrighty. This is a bit of a long one, so I think we're going to be wrapping up today's episode on this one as we go through. So it is titled, Girlfriend, who is 30 years old, was still seeing others 2 months into our dating. I, a 27-year-old male, am a regular on this subreddit and participate in a lot of threads, and my go-to advice is always break up. But here I am, and I don't know what to do here. I have been dating my girlfriend for 6 months now, and it's been an amazing 6 months really, although I know it's still a honeymoon stage. We met through common friends and immediately hit it off. We decided to hang out the next day, and then we both felt that we have a connection, so we decided to give it a go. The only thing she asked was that she wanted to take her time in getting to know me before doing anything physical. I wholeheartedly agree, as I also like to get to know someone before getting physical. So we started dating and it's been really amazing. She is funny, charming, caring, and all around a good person. We went on so many fun short trips in these 6 months that I sometimes wonder if that was the reason of the rising gasoline prices around the world. In the short, we had a lot of fun. One day we were sitting on her terrace and enjoying some popcorn, and I suddenly felt really romantic and leaned in to kiss her. She turned at her and whispered softly, "Not yet," and I withdrew immediately and apologized. She smiled and planted a kiss on my forehead. Around 2 months into dating, we finally had bedroom fun together for the first time. It's going great since, and we share an amazing physical and emotional chemistry. Guys, whenever women do this stuff, right? Where they say, I'm going to take time in getting to know you. This is what I mentioned at the beginning of the video. See, they'll do this for dudes that they're not necessarily attracted to. Right? The dudes that they're actually attracted to, this right here, it literally doesn't even, it's not even a factor for women. Right? You see what I'm saying? They'll separate dudes into two different camps. The guys who are given sentences like this and the guys who are not given sentences like this. Let's continue onwards. Anyways, I was dropping her off at work one day when an old classmate from college, approached me and said hi. I said, "Hi, it's nice to meet you." We made some small chit chat and then he suddenly said, "We are okay, right?" I said, "Well, considering we are seeing each other after almost 5 years, I would assume everything is okay." He said, "Well, I hope there are no hard feelings about me and my girlfriend. We never dated, we were just friends with benefits, and that also ended in August, as said she was getting serious with some guy. I just never knew it was you." Now, it came as a surprise to me as we had been dating since June, but I played it cool and said it's fine. I got into my car and went to my office. That evening, when she came home, I told her that while dropping her off in the morning, I ran into an old buddy of mine and we had a nice chat. She said, "Cool, what's his name?" I told her and she was a bit shocked. At this point, I point blank asked her if she was dating him and she denied it. She said he was just a friends with benefits and they sometimes hooked up. You gotta love, right, guys, how girls will play the angelic role and they'll say, "Oh, no, we need to wait," right? And then you look at sentences like this. I mean, really just think about it, okay? She said that she had a friends with benefits. It's like these girls want to act like absolute angels, and they literally have multiple friends with benefits on at the same go. Like, I'm sorry, you can't have both of these things. Okay, and I think it's a real mistake for men to actually buy into this stuff whenever girls pull the angel card, like, "Oh, I make good decisions with my life and I don't do that kind of stuff." And then you find out that even when you confront them, they'll still generally lie about it. It's kind of crazy. Then I asked her when did they break up, and she said in August, and I became a little irritated here. I asked, "Well, you and I were dating and you still went with him." She said, "I never had bedroom fun with him after you, and I became intimate, and that's the truth." At this moment, I suddenly felt really tired and just left. She came running after me, but I got into my car and drove home. Now here I am, sitting at my home 3 days later with no idea on what to do. I really like her and it could be a long-term relationship, but on the other hand, I can't forget what she did. She says that once she became sure of me, she cut all contact with him. I don't know, Reddit. Please someone talk some sense into me. One moment I am completely over it and the next I want to break it off and go full NC, whatever that, no contact, right? Edit. She has been blowing up my phone and sent a lot of messages and video messages crying and asking me to meet so that we can get ahead of this, but I am not sure about anything now. Edit to add. I am disturbed right now, so I am sorry for the typo. She said that she never had bedroom fun with him after we had bedroom fun together. Edit. I don't know why people are assuming that I have an issue with her having casual bedroom fun. I don't care what she did before she met me, but yes, it's the parallel dating with me while having bedroom fun with someone else which really hurt me. I am a very monogamous person who doesn't even date multiple people at once. It's one at a time. I never said she is a bad person, but it reveals a major incompatibility between us. Guys, you think that a lot of these stories, gentlemen, something that's really kind of um, difficult for a lot of men to wrap their heads around is the fact that these girls are not monogamous. They're really not. You see, they'll expect monogamy from men, but they'll go out here literally dating multiple dudes at the same time. Up until they secure that exact confirmation of commitment, guys, you can rest assured that she'll be having bedroom fun with some other guy. I mean, I've shared this story a couple of times on the channel before, gentlemen, but in recent videos, but I know a girl in real life where literally she was blowing up this guy saying, "Oh, I love you, I care about you," all this kind of stuff, and they were in a situationship. So basically, he wasn't committing to her, kind of thing, and she was pulling the whole monogamy card, like, "I only care about you, I only love you, I'm here to talk to you," all that kind of crap, right? And that guy actually had to move states, right? So the moment that that man left states and had to go somewhere else, I'm not sure if it was for his work or whatever the case may be, maybe his family was moving, but the point is he left the state. That exact night that that dude left the state, I know for a fact that she was seeing another man. Right? You see, what these girls are doing, man, is they're using your morals against you, the things that you care about, the things that you value. They're using virtues like love and honesty and integrity and stuff like that, and they're literally out here using these things against men. And that's something that a lot of dudes like kind of struggle to really kind of understand, is the fact that a lot of guys on Patreon will ask me questions like, "Taylor, why does it work like this?" You know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine myself doing these actions. How come girls are able to do these sorts of things? And it's gotten to the point in society, guys, and it's really disgusting that I have to say this, but a good rule of thumb is basically what I want you to do is I want you to take your moral standards, right, and the things that you would morally do, and then basically just lower it 2 or 3 pegs, and then that's generally what these women will do. Like, and I wish I could say it another way, guys, but I really can't. You see, these women who they have all the options, they think that they're actually entitled to your time, right? They think that they're entitled to your hobbies, what it is that you do with your life, and they think that, okay, well, because I'm able to secure all of these other guys, then, your time is worth nothing as a result of that. And I think that's a really disturbing thing to see, and I also think that it echoes into dudes' marriages, where we got all these dudes doing literally everything for these women, and they can find nothing to do but complain. I mean, I want you guys, we're going to be wrapping up the episode here in a minute, but after the episode is over, guys, if you've made it this far, if you've made it to the end, go back to the start and watch the woman who was complaining about the dudes on the dating apps. Like, I'm sorry, you literally have no room to complain. Okay? The girls who complain about the dating market, honestly, at a certain point, it really just becomes comedic. But guys, we are going to be leaving today's episode there, so as always, make sure you leave your thoughts and comments below. If you have anything to share, feel free to do so. It's always interesting to see what you guys have to say in the comments below. But we are going to be calling today's episode there, guys. As always, if you are interested in supporting the show, make sure you check out the locals link in the description, guys. The first month over there is totally free on me with code Fiendish, and it's a fantastic way to support the channel if you're interested. So the link to sign up to that is below the video. But otherwise, gentlemen, make sure you take care of yourselves, and I will be seeing you boys in the next episode. Peace.